It's time now for today's press review, and I'm joined on set by Emily Boyle. Emily, a big day for the British papers today. Of course, a day after Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor's arrest. How are they covering it?
Yeah, well, it was a huge story yesterday, and it's still a huge story today, as you can expect, all over the British front pages. Let's start here with the Daily Star, their headline here. Taxi for Andy. Now, this photo of the suspect, formerly known as Prince Andrew, was taken as he got a lift back from the police station last night. He was arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Let's go to The Sun. Equally interesting front page here. Now he's sweating, it says, referring, of course, to his infamous interview with Emily Maitlis, where he claimed he could no longer sweat because of his involvement in the Falklands War. The Daily Mail has a historic edition here today. The Crown in crisis. It talks about Prince Andrew's downfall. Looking haggard, shamed and haunted, Andrew is released from police custody. Meanwhile, the Daily Telegraph stays a little bit more simple. Andrew arrested. It says Andrew is the first senior member of the royal family to be taken into custody in modern history. The Guardian uses the same photo as they all use, basically, quoting the King, though, King Charles, ex-Prince Andrew's brother, who said the law must take its course. The paper goes over what it calls an extraordinary day. It says the ex-prince was arrested by plainclothes officers around 8 o'clock yesterday morning, then questioned for several hours about allegations that he shared confidential documents with Jeffrey Epstein during his time as trade envoy. He was then released under investigation at around 7 p.m. Last night. Now, it's rare that The Guardian and the Daily Express have an extremely similar front page, but today is one of those days. This is the Daily Express's front page, again quoting the King there. The paper also points out that it happened to be Andrew's 66th birthday. Now, of course, this has travelled beyond borders and beyond the Channel as well. Just have a look at one of the French front pages here today. It calls, this is its headline here, Andrew Prince des Ténèbres, Andrew Prince of Darkness, which is an affront, personally, to the legend of rock and roll, Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, it seems unfair to drag him into this.
Exactly.
Emily, what are the papers saying beyond the front pages?
Well, of course, tons of analysis, opinion pieces, lots of ink has been spilled, of course, today. Let's have a look at this article here in The Times. It says, Andrew's arrest is the worst constitutional crisis in a century. The article points out, as I said, that it's the first time that a member of the royal family has been arrested since 1647, when Charles I was imprisoned by Oliver Cromwell. Now, it's a huge crisis for the royal family, especially as Andrew is still technically eighth in line to the throne. Let's have a look at an opinion piece in The Guardian by Simon Jenkins here. It says that Andrew is entering a new era, and so is Britain. It says that the mystique and awe surrounding the royals has been shattered. The article says that although Charles might not have reformed the royal institution, his son William has already hinted that he might. Let's go back to the Daily Express. We saw the front page, but they have this opinion piece here saying that it might not be as bad as we all think. It might be an opportunity for the royals to come out stronger, but only if Prince William and King Charles can draw a clear line in the sand between themselves and Andrew. Now, beyond opinion pieces, analysis pieces, cartoonists obviously have had their fun with this. Let's start with this one here from The Independent. We see the police and some Crown handcuffs here. The Guardian's cartoonists also in on the case. It imagines the police interviewing the King's Guards, asking them if there can be any information about Andrew. But my favourite comes from The Times this morning. This one here by Morton Mortland, misconduct in public office, naughty. Obviously, Andrew confusing the Thames Valley Police for some strippers that might have turned up at his front door.
Good to see that the cartoonists and the British presses are making the most of the situation. Elsewhere in the papers, Emily, the world of mountaineering has been rocked by a legal case in Austria. Tell us more.
Yeah, this is an interesting story from the world of mountaineering. Let's have a look. It's in the New York Times. They're talking about this case. An Austrian man found guilty for his girlfriend's death. he reportedly abandoned her on the top of Austria's highest mountain, the Großglockner. The 39-year-old man took his girlfriend despite the fact that she was really inexperienced up the mountain. But as it started to get dark, the pair got stuck about 50 meters from the summit. Now, what's strange is that the man left her exposed on the side of the mountain, exposed to wind and extreme cold weather, without wrapping her in an emergency blanket, which was later found in her backpack. Now, he made his way down the mountain. He called rescue services, but reportedly said that everything was fine, and then stopped answering any of their calls, saying that he had put his phone on airplane mode to save battery. Now, he's been found guilty for gross negligent manslaughter and given a suspended sentence of 5 months in prison.
Wow, that seems like not a very big sentence for what he did, but okay. Finally, Emily, just quickly, you found a photo report in The Guardian that you would like to highlight for us.
Yeah, this is a very touching story here in The Guardian, a photo report about Kyiv's zoo and how it's trying to look after its animals despite the war in Ukraine. This is Tony the gorilla. He's 52 and he's lived at Kyiv Zoo for 25 years. But because of Russian strikes on Ukraine's electricity grid, the zoo only has 2 to 3 hours of electricity a day, not enough to keep the temperatures up to African standards as you would expect. Now, not all of the animals are suffering quite as much. These camels are reportedly completely unbothered by the cold. Lions, though, having a bit more of a tough time. And we can have a look at some of the measures that the zoo has taken. This here is a wood heater that's been installed to keep the gorilla warm. Now, despite the war, the zoo manages to have 500,000 visitors a year, often catering to prisoners of war.
All right, Emily, thank you so much for all of those stories. That's Emily Boyle with today's press review. We're going to have to leave it there for this edition. Thanks for watching and stay with us if you can on France 24. We have more news coming up in just a moment.